If you're listening to these words right now, it's not by accident. Something far greater than chance has guided you here. Out of all the endless videos and fleeting distractions that flood your screen every day, this one caught your attention. You could have scrolled past it in less than a second, just like you usually do, but you didn't. Something made you pause. Something quiet. Something subtle yet powerful. And in that moment of stillness, a deeper part of you recognized that this wasn't just another random message floating through your feed. This was meant for you, right now, in this exact moment, at this precise point in your journey. You might be wondering how a simple video could hold that kind of meaning, how words on a screen could possibly carry any divine timing. But stay with me, because what you're about to understand will make you realize that the instant your attention stopped wandering and your energy focused here, something began to shift inside you. The timing of your day, the feeling in your chest, the rhythm of your thoughts wasn't a coincidence. It was alignment. It was life itself responding to the silent frequency of your readiness. You've been feeling something lately, haven't you? That mysterious current under the surface of your routine, the sense that invisible gears are moving somewhere beyond your awareness, arranging, preparing, coordinating. Maybe it started with small moments that didn't seem like much at first. A song that echoed your feelings perfectly. A phrase someone said that matched your unspoken thoughts. Running into a person from your past at the exact moment you needed a reminder of who you used to be. Those weren't random moments. They were signals. Gentle breadcrumbs from the universe saying, "You're getting closer. Keep paying attention." And the reason you're here, listening, breathing slower, maybe even feeling your heart respond, is because you've finally become still enough to receive what's been trying to reach you for a long time. Your entire system, your energy, your focus, your emotions is realigning. Your inner compass is slowly pointing home again. And when that happens, the world starts communicating with you differently. Life begins mirroring your awareness. Each coincidence becomes confirmation. Every moment becomes a message. Most people never notice this. They rush through life, ticking off to-do lists, chasing deadlines, drowning in noise. They call these divine intersections luck or weird timing. They hear the whispers of intuition but ignore them because they sound too quiet compared to the chaos of the world. But not you. You stopped. You felt the pause. You recognized that this message had weight. That recognition alone tells me you're awake in ways you weren't before. You're standing at the entrance of a new chapter, one that doesn't announce itself with fireworks or drama, but through stillness, through a feeling of readiness that's been quietly building beneath your skin for months, maybe years. Everything that once felt confusing, the setbacks, the rejections, the painful detours, are now beginning to form a pattern, like a puzzle that once seemed meaningless, now revealing a larger, breathtaking image. Think about the precision it took for this very moment to exist. Your current mindset, your circumstances, your timing. You had to open this app at this exact second, be in this exact state of mind, and choose not to scroll past. That's not randomness. That's orchestration. Divine timing working with you, not against you. The truth is, the universe doesn't deal in coincidences. It works through meaningful alignment, through synchronicity. When the pieces of your life begin falling into place with an elegance that can't be explained, that's the divine whispering. You're on the right path. Maybe you've been doubting yourself lately, questioning your direction, searching for reassurance that you're not lost. You've been asking for signs, praying for clarity, hoping for proof that you're not making mistakes you can't undo. Well, this is your sign. You didn't stumble onto this message by chance. You were guided to it because you were ready to hear it. Everything you've been through, all the delays, disappointments, the doors that wouldn't open, wasn't meant to stop you. It was meant to prepare you. Those detours were training grounds for your strength. They weren't blockages. They were recalibrations. Like a driver who takes the scenic route by mistake, only to witness beauty they never would have otherwise. You've been taking the scenic route of your soul. And now, that winding road is merging back onto the main path. Your confusion is turning into clarity. Your uncertainty is turning into direction. The lessons you've gathered are fusing into wisdom. You're beginning to understand that What once felt like endings were actually gentle beginnings in disguise. This pause you're taking right now, this moment of reflection, isn't just rest. It's recognition. It's the moment before the next chapter begins to unfold. You've felt the restlessness, haven't you? That inner tug, that feeling that you're outgrowing something. An old job, an old identity, an old rhythm of life. Like your spirit is stretching beyond the walls that once felt safe. It's not frustration you're feeling. It's evolution. That pressure inside you isn't trying to break you. It's trying to birth you. You're shedding the old layers of yourself, just like a snake outgrows its skin. The friendships, the routines, the versions of you that no longer fit. They're not losses, they're releases. You're not falling apart, you're unfolding. What people rarely understand about transformation is that it rarely comes with fanfare. It doesn't always look like a breakthrough. Sometimes it feels like ordinary moments that pull you inward. Like today, when you stopped scrolling and something in your chest whispered, wait. That whisper was your awakening. It was your own intuition confirming that you're standing on the edge of something new. You've been preparing for it quietly for months now, changing the way you think, softening the way you respond, learning to breathe instead of react. You probably haven't even noticed the depth of your transformation. The way you no longer engage with chaos the same way. The way certain conversations no longer drain you. The way silence feels less empty and more sacred. Those subtle changes weren't accidents. They were calibration points. Your spirit realigning to a new frequency of peace, strength, and awareness. And because your frequency is shifting, the world around you is reflecting it. You've seen the signs. Numbers repeating, songs playing at uncanny moments, strangers echoing your private thoughts, dreams that feel like messages instead of random imagery. That's not your imagination. That's resonance. That's the universe speaking in symbols, the language your soul understands better than words. You've been learning this language of the universe without even realizing it. Every time you trusted a quiet gut feeling that made no logical sense, but felt undeniably right, you were practicing it. Every time you chose compassion over retaliation, forgiveness over frustration, softness over control, you were tuning your soul to a higher frequency. Each time you stayed open when pain tried to harden you, you were refining your sensitivity to divine communication. You thought those moments were just you being kind, or calm, or resilient, but they were spiritual training. You were developing your inner hearing. You were learning to recognize the voice that doesn't come through words, but through resonance, that subtle hum beneath your ribs that whispers, yes, this way. And now that voice, the one that used to be faint and uncertain, has grown stronger. It no longer has to shout to get your attention. It doesn't need to send chaos or crisis to steer you back on track. You've become attuned enough to notice the gentle signals, the way your body tightens when something's wrong, the way it relaxes when something's right. That's your higher self remembering how to speak to you again. It's not coincidence, it's reconnection. You're remembering the language of alignment, and it's remembering you. This is why meditation, stillness, and silence are sacred spaces. They aren't about forcing your mind to go blank or chasing enlightenment somewhere outside yourself. They're about creating enough inner quiet to hear what's always been speaking underneath the noise. That soft knowing, that subtle direction, that unexplainable but steady certainty that says, you already know. You don't find clarity in the silence. You remember it there. Because the truth is, guidance never stopped flowing to you. You just had to stop running long enough to listen. You've been guided your entire life, through instincts, through feelings, through synchronicities that made no sense until later. Every wrong turn, every heartbreak, every delay was part of the curriculum. You just didn't always recognize the teacher. But now, your awareness is awake, your inner ear is tuned, and that's why this message found you. Not because you were lost, but because you were ready to remember. The timing of this awareness couldn't be more precise. You're at a crossroads where your soul is done waiting for outside approval. You've reached the moment where you no longer need signs to trust what's been speaking inside you all along. You're ready to stop asking if you're allowed to follow your intuition and finally let it lead. The impulses, the ideas, the desires that won't leave you alone. They're not random wishes. They're instructions from the same intelligence that designed your path. Every delay you faced, every plan that collapsed, every person who left unexpectedly, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. The universe wasn't blocking you, it was clearing the clutter so the real route could unfold. What felt like falling apart was actually falling into alignment. Life has been rearranging itself in your favor, removing what could not come with you into the next chapter. The falling apart was never punishment, it was preparation. The letting go wasn't loss, it was liberation. You had to empty the container of who you were, so you could hold space for who you're becoming. You're not standing in ruins, you're standing on freshly cleared ground. What looks like the end of something is actually the construction site of something extraordinary. You're not entering a period of destruction, you're stepping into creation. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. This is the quiet beginning of your next evolution, not the explosive kind that comes with fanfare, but the sacred kind that comes disguised as calm. It's the kind that hums through your bones when you realize that the worst has already passed and something new is being born from what survived. You've been sensing it, that subtle energy building behind the scenes, that whisper that keeps nudging you toward a certain idea, a certain path, a certain truth. You already know what I'm talking about, that project you can't stop thinking about, that decision that both scares and excites you, that conversation that feels overdue, that leap that your logical mind keeps arguing against, but your soul keeps whispering toward. That's not coincidence. That's calling. That's your invitation to participate in the next phase of your destiny. The universe didn't bring you this far just to leave you standing still. It's beckoning you forward, waiting for your yes. You've been searching for a sign, but here's the secret. You are the sign. Your readiness is the proof. Divine timing rarely shows up looking convenient. It almost never arrives when you feel fully prepared. It comes disguised as discomfort, disguised as uncertainty, disguised as that mix of fear and exhilaration that tells you you're about to grow. It doesn't wait until you have all the answers. It asks you to move first, to leap before the net appears. Because the stretch between comfort and courage is where miracles are born. That stretch, the one that makes your heart race, is sacred. It's how expansion feels from the inside. Growth is rarely graceful. It's trembling hands and brave breaths and shaky first steps towards something unfamiliar, but deeply right. But that's how it's supposed to feel. It's how you know it's real. You've been preparing for this stretch your entire life without even realizing it. Every challenge that tested your patience, every heartbreak that deepened your empathy, every failure that built your resilience, all of it was strength training for your becoming. So now, trust it. Trust the pauses that redirect you. Trust the instincts that won't quiet down. Trust the coincidences that feel too intentional to ignore. Trust the part of you that paused long enough to hear these words right now. That part already knows what comes next, even if your mind doesn't yet. Your breakthrough isn't somewhere in the future waiting to find you. It's already unfolding quietly in this moment, inside your awareness, through your decisions, through your willingness to trust. It's not something you chase, it's something you allow. And when you look back, weeks from now, months from now, maybe even years from now, you'll see it clearly. You'll see how everything, every delay, every word, every moment of uncertainty was never random. It was all perfectly timed, perfectly guided, perfectly meant for you.